Your top 10 pickups from Monster Mayhem. Monster Mayhem. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that chibi button so you guys don't miss out on more Orcust. So I want to start off over here with the chibis because realistically these are going to have some sort of collectability to the average player. All 10 of them have some really cool options available to them, and I think that that's going to be a really special thing. The chibis were honestly the first of their kind, at least on our side of the game. And I think a lot of people are going to have a fun time trying to collect the chibis just to be able to add these into their collection and decide, you know, are these going to be something that I want for the long term? And whether or not you choose to want to pick these up, or you're like, you know, maybe they're not for me. You know, comparably, the Galaxy Eyes was my good example of the chibi or not the chibi. I do like the QCR print of it. I think it's a very, very cool card. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy having the opportunity to actually add the chibis just simply to their collection. Hopefully cost is relatively low on these for the long term. Magical Android. Now, if you are a fan of older formats, then you know just how stupidly expensive that Magical Android has been for the price point that it is if you are an Edison enjoyer. And I gotta tell you out here, the fact that they are finally taking Magical Android and making an attempt to make this card much cheaper than it actually has been, I think is a very welcoming thing out here. Now, obviously, this is only going to be strictly older format stuff, but there will be the application of people that are going to be like, oh, you know, we can dip around and try to play this in the future with the new Android and all the psychic stuff coming. Which, sure, if you do really want to try to play it with the newer stuff, then be my guest, but I don't think it's going to work. All right, older format reprints are a very welcoming thing out here for players. Next up is the Stardust Cipher Dragon. One of the biggest reprints out of this set for Blue Eyes players. And I know for a fact that Blue Eyes enjoyers are going to really, really want this one. Just because it's such a needed card out here for the deck. Well, at least I think it is. Being able to go with the Crimson Dragon line and be able to, you know, get the setup and get the double lock is pretty good. Obviously, you know, there is some counterplay to it, and there is a chance for you to kind of, you know, blow your opponent out a little bit with it, but I think that's just kind of that. You will see some people that'll still be like, you know, Stardust Cipher is not needed. At least the card's not going to be $20+ anymore. That's what we really wanted to see. We wanted the price point to be brought down, and that's exactly what we're getting here. Cheap affordability for Blue Eyes mains. All right, and then we're tossing the Alba System, dogma, the calamity up here. I know a lot of people are looking at this and they're going, oh, hey, you know, this card is so good. I don't think that this card is good. All right, it's a Fallen of Alba plus 6 monsters in the graveyard with different names to make it. All right, that's just too much. And also, it can attack all your opponent's monsters. It cannot declare an attack unless you send a card with the from the extra deck to the graveyard. And once per turn, if you control this fusion summon card, and exactly 6 or more fusions in the graveyard with different names that mention Fallen of Alba, and all the cards on each player's extra deck to the graveyard. I'm going to be honest with you, you're not really going to be able to achieve that. You're chasing this this crazy ability, or you think that this is going to be really, really good in order to do, but don't let the card fool you. All right, it looks cool, it seems cool, it doesn't mean that it is a good card. The Majest cards. Now, Spoon is nowhere to be seen in this set, which is really disappointing because I think we all wanted to see Spoon pop in here. We wanted to see Spoon be this incredibly powerful card to actually help us out with our strategy and, you know, kind of hope for the best. Unfortunately, that was not the thing that we got with this set. What we did get was the rest of the Majest stuff to kind of try to push the next version of the Draco Tail deck to the next level, which, I mean, will have some sort of viability. I assure you, but I think that not having Spoon kind of
kind of hurts the strategy for this. And we have no idea when we're going to get Spoon. That's just the unfortunate consequences of them porting in this stuff and us being kind of left on the outside here, you know, kind of going, you know. It's all the downside. There's not much that we can really do. Necros. So unfortunately, and fortunately, you know, the Necros stuff, you did get the nice Starlight Rare, alternate art Trishula. Upside to this, everybody, is this stuff should be relatively cheap. I like what it feels like they accomplished with this set. They wanted to reprint all the theme stuff in here, but they also wanted to give you the opportunity to get this stuff so that you could actually play the themes and be able to enjoy them. They did a fantastic job with the themed rarity prints of the cards. I think that those cards are all absolutely gorgeous and they look fantastic. But you're going to be fighting a lot out here with the decision of, you know, do I want the symbols or do I want the, or not want the symbols? I think the symbols are good. Also, in terms of what Necros has, I think it is one of the weaker themes in the set, but players are going to try to find some cool ways to abuse it. We lost Mr. Bahamut Shark, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. Dragon Maid. Now, Dragon Maid does have the canine variant that we will be able to play once we do get the canine cards, and I am going to be very excited for the fact that once we get those cards, we will be able to come up with some sort of cool strategy to actually make the Dragon Maid stuff very, very viable. Until that point comes, though, pure Dragon Maid kind of is going to be off the table. I think you're going to be taking the Dragon Maid stuff and kind of incorporating it into its own strategy, but this is simply a pickup because all of the cards are brutally cheap now. And because they're going to be easier to access, it means that you'll be able to enjoy them and just try to combo up and see what you can do with the strategies. Like that's what you want. You want themes that have potential. And quite honestly, I mean, the Dragon Maid stuff seems like it's going to be very, very accessible. Orcust. Now, Orcust out here as a pickup, I think was one of the most exciting things out of this set. There are so many people out here that are just going, yes, 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 Orcust is finally here. Unfortunately, the same thing that punishes Orcust ends the dueling career of Malice, which is Lancia. Obviously, there is some sort of counterplay and things that you can try to adapt around and be able to work with, because I've seen it be done. But the problem is, you know, you're still playing Orcust out here in the year 2025. The new cards are very good. Don't get me wrong. The new Link 1 is a fantastic piece. It adds a lot to the depth of the strategy and a lot to the initial like setup for the combo lines. That is really, really good. And trust me, when you can get the cool lines for the combo setup, also Crescendo is a broken card. Primite cards. This one should be probably the budget player's best friend in this set. There is just the fact that we have the Primite stuff, both Barrel, Drill Beam, and the Lordly Load. All three of them got the key reprints in here, which is going to make this set even more affordable for the average player. And also, there's a lot of cool Primite builds that you're just going to want to play around with in general. And the fact that Konami is dumping this for us, I think was very good. Also, I did tell you guys Barrel did need the reprint. I got called out a lot for that, by the way. People are like, no, Barrel's not going to be in here. It's too early. No, if Lordly Load was going to be in here, it made sense for them to port in the extra stuff as well, just to kind of maintain and keep the Primite package, you know, kind of across the field and make sure that, you know, you could get them. So it is actually really, really nice to see that is here. And then, of course, all the other themes like, you know, Jirac, Fabled, all these themes, depending on what your flavor is and the kind of deck strategy that you wanted to play, you know, even Punk is going to be an incredibly good deck. All these themes, though, are all going to be pretty available out here. And I think you'll be able to actually enjoy these and be able to add what they can do to your strategy. And that's actually really, really cool. Cheap themes are one of the cornerstones of the game, and it's good for budget players to be able to get this stuff actually at a pretty affordable price. So I recommend, you know, checking out Kong's discount code MCO40, save you on your purchase. And well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, all right? patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.